Okay, so talking a little bit about heredity, okay, where our traits come from, where our kids are going to get their traits. Okay, I heard some stuff back here. Who would like to share what you guys are talking about in the back?
It's like you like figure out like how like some diseases are passed on, like through genetics and stuff.
How diseases are passed on?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a huge thing. Okay, how many people in here have a close family or friend member that had cancer? Okay, a lot of the room. Okay, cancer is tied to genetics. Okay, how about diabetes? Okay, tied to genetics. Alzheimer's, sorry, let me finish that word. Okay, quite a few. Arthritis. All these diseases, for the most part, okay, a lot of diseases are tied directly to your DNA, to your genetics. Okay?
Wait, so if your mom has like cancer, then would you get cancer?
Not necessarily, and it depends what. Some types of cancer are more heredity based than others. Okay? But you do often have the same disposition or the same leaning or tendencies than your family members with the same genes. Okay? And so people that are trying to discover cures for cancer and different diseases are looking directly at our DNA. I just heard a really interesting thing. It was actually at BYU. They actually think that they discovered what causes Alzheimer's. The twisting of the alpha helix in DNA. Okay? So they're looking directly at the structure of DNA and finding things that they can fix to take away diseases.
Is it very common to get like the disease that usually is like you don't have history of it?
If the disease is tied to heredity and your family doesn't have a history, you're a lot less likely to have it. And I'm sure you'll talk about later. I heard somebody talking about genetic arts, Mendel, right? Punnett squares, probability. Okay, I assume you're going to talk about that down the road. Okay, and you'll talk a little bit more about how traits are passed on. But all those traits that you're going to talk about are tied directly to your DNA. Okay, and so on a broader scope, any time that you're discussing something in any class, okay, especially in a science class where I think it's a little bit harder to think about, you have to say why. So what? Why do I care about this? Okay? And when you can make that connection, it makes it a whole lot more real. Okay? If I'm just thinking about it as something in a textbook, who cares? But when I think of a family member who has died from a disease or has a disease, okay, it makes it a whole lot more real to talk. All right. So the structure of DNA. Okay, and we're going to see my mad ninja skills. All right, so turn to your partners again. You're just going to have 30 seconds. What do you know already about the structure of DNA? Okay, is there anything out there that you know about the structure of DNA?
And you just trying to go, oh, I know. See, I don't know anything. That's all you really It looks like that. Well, I was saying it.
All right. What did you already know about the structure of DNA? Okay, is everybody here? Is everybody here? One more time. Not everybody's listening.
It's in a double helix.
Okay, a double helix. Okay, what does that mean?
Like a ladder?
Yeah, basically a twisty ladder. That's a good way to summarize it. Okay, what else do we know about DNA besides it's an alpha helix?
Comes in sequences.
Exactly. It comes in sequences. Okay, it's kind of like our code, right? That it comes in a sequence, and we have to figure out the sequence to know what the sequence means. Right?
There's actually a certain amount of times in a day that your DNA actually gets a mutation, but there's a directed thing that goes
Okay, so you brought up mutations, okay, in the DNA. Okay, if not everybody knows about mutations, how can we define a mutation? It's not X-Men, okay? We're not talking about mutants as an X-Men. Okay, what are you talking about?
Mutation is you're taking a genetic code which program changes something wrong, and something not one
Exactly. Okay, so it's a difference in the DNA. Something gets messed up in the creation of DNA. Okay, but sometimes we think of mutations as being all bad. Again, when you talk about heredity, we have to understand that mutations lead to everything. Okay, mutations led to us being humans and the chimpanzee being a chimpanzee. Okay, it's what separates the zebra from the horse. Okay, our mutations happen along the way. Okay, that changed. I'm going to talk more about that. Anything else that people are dying to share? No? All right, so first we need to talk about DNA are made up of, my brain just completely went away. Nucleotides, that's what they're called. Okay, it's late in the afternoon. All right, so they're made up of nucleotides. Okay, we talked about sequences over here. Okay, so DNA is made up of sequences of nucleotides. Okay, so we need to see what a nucleotide is. Okay, 3 parts. Can everybody see those 3 parts? Okay, so we have nitrogen, yeah. See, I stumbled on my words. It's okay. Nitrogen at space. Okay, so this is what's going to change. This is what's going to make one different from the other. Okay, we're going to have a 5-carbon sugar, which is going to be on every one. Okay, and we're going to have a phosphate group. Okay, these 2 are going to be the same on every single one. The only thing that's going to change is this base. Okay, so we have 4 different nucleotides in DNA. Who can name them? Yes?
Tyrosine.
You're not the book. Okay, does anybody know them not in the book?
I don't know the names, but there's
Okay, all right, so you're jumping on it. Okay, so you mentioned a few letters, right? Okay, who knows the letters that match up with DNA? All right, go ahead. What were the letters that you said?
A, T, G, and then on RNA, this changes with the different, right?
I think it's the T that you
Oh, it's the T that changes.
Sure,
One
it
of
is.
them changes.
Okay, we don't want to confuse you when you talk about RNA. Is it Maya? Okay. I thought you were shaking your head back.
No.
Of course. All right. So in RNA is slightly different. Okay. It has 4 as well, but instead of thymine, it's going to be uracil. Okay. So we're going to name these. Okay. We're going to look at these and what they do, and then we'll get to the fun stuff. So adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. Okay? Pretty exciting stuff, right? I can see the excitement. Don't worry, it'll get better. Alright. So, we need to make a distinction here. 2 of these are purines, and 2 of them are thiamine. Can I get a pronunciation? There we go. Okay. We've already established that my tongue does not work properly. All right. So what do you notice is the difference? Hands up. Observation.
Colors.
Colors. Exactly. Okay. What else? How is this group alike, and this group is different from that group, but alike?
Purines have 2 little shapes on the pyramids.
Yep. So these are 2 rings, and this is 1 ring. Okay? So now, who here has used a mnemonic device or knows what mnemonics is? It's a pretty fancy word. Okay, who here has played piano? Raise your hand. Okay. Did you ever learn things to help you memorize the notes? Good boys do fine always? Yeah? Or something similar to that? Okay. Have any of you used that to help you memorize lists in school? Okay. That's what we're going to do right now. Is we're going to create our own to help you remember that adenine and guanine belong here. Okay. And thymine and cytosine belong here. Okay. Also, your mnemonic device, I want you to somehow put it in which one is 2 ring and which one is 1 ring. Okay, you're going to work with your same partners again. Okay, to come up with the mnemonic device. Okay, you might wonder, why do I need to do this? And it's because you're going to come back to these again and again and again and again. And if you have them down, it's going to make everything so much easier. Okay, so you're only going to have about a minute, okay, to do this. All right? Ready? Go.
You do that.
I've seen all of them.
You have to. Don't you love it? You just love it.
Yeah.
So good. Let's do so we have to figure out abs. That so tired. Come on, man, you're the best teacher.
Oh, yeah. Every time. Like the spice?
Okay, so you're trying to remember them.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Wait, no, except for
Right, yeah.
it has to be in order, Devin. Wait, does it have to be in order? Like 8.
But basically what you're trying to remember is that these 2 go with purine and these 2 go with purine. That's what you're trying to connect with this one. Okay? So something AGP, something PCP. How are you going to remember purines versus pyramines?
I remember that one.
All right. So let's have a few people share. What helps them remember? Okay, listen up. Okay, we have one here.
We did all grandma's cherry trees.
Okay. That's a good way to remember all of them. Okay, but we want to see which one goes with which. That's what we're working on right now.
You have apples and grapes twice a day, but you don't eat tigers and cats once.
So you have apples and grapes twice a day, and only what?
Tigers and cats only once.
There's, you got Punch and Caesar saw a pyramid. One here.
Oh, that's a really good one. Did you ever hear that? Okay, once more, nice and loud.
Punch and Caesar saw one pyramid.
Excellent. Tut and Caesar saw one pyramid. Okay, one more.
I just have one for the periods. Made up fake names. Agatha and Arama, hers to herself.
Like A.
Got it. Here, there. Okay, so some of you might have not come up with one that you really like, okay, but I would challenge you to write one down, okay, as you go through the next few days of study, so it will really help you in the future. Okay, I thought of one as I was walking around. I said, all girls punch. I don't know. It works. Okay, you just have to figure out something that works for you. Okay? So, somebody mentioned base pairs earlier. Okay? And so a huge part of genetics and DNA as we talk about it, okay, is that you always have an adenine pair with the thymine. And you always have a guanine pair with the cytosine. Okay? Always. Okay? Unless you're talking about RNA, but we're just talking about DNA. So we say always, okay, they pair together. Okay? So now we need to come up with a way to remember the base pairs. Okay? So we're going to come up with a